You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriots. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to HighlyEvolvedPodcast. I'm your host, Stefan. You can find me on Minds.com, BitChute, Twitter, and Get.com. Most importantly, like, share, subscribe on YouTube, because YouTube are censoring the heck out of people. I don't know, guys. Let's start the show. In this episode, I want to talk about this article on Breitbart News describing Kamala Harris, which is a bad candidate herself. Gorilla Biscuit Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, the wrestler from WWF. The title, headline, 5-time Kamala Harris flip-flop on an issue. Because you aren't aware right now, they just had the Democratic debate. And Kamala Harris tried to come out looking strong, which is backfired. Because in my opinion, she make herself look more foolish. She sounds like one of those aggressive women, that mean woman. How are you going to appeal to a lot of people when you sound aggressive, this is what people think. So because you sound aggressive doesn't make you a stronger person. No, it's not. It doesn't make you stronger. It makes you more foolish. That's what it is. So because you're yelling, you're increasing your voice, does not make you any stronger. All right? It's like a chihuahua barking loud. Just because a chihuahua bark loud and growl, does that make the chihuahua strong? No. It doesn't make any sense. That's what Kamala Harris is. She's one of those bark loud chihuahuas that think that by raising their voice make her strong. But she's a liar. She's a constant liar. Right? She wasn't raised up in America. How would she know the issues American? All right? She came here when she was in college. All right. But let's read this article. All right, just 1 second. Let me put this up for you guys. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for your patience. Your patience is greatly appreciated. While I get this thing going. There you go. It's an article from Breitbart. Headline, 5-time Kamala Harris flip-flop on key issues. All right. Kamala Harris, Democratic claimed that she misheard Thursday night debate question in which she signaled support for the elimination of private insurance. And where she's going to eliminate all these jobs to benefit universal health care, which is going to bankrupt the country. If you're unaware, you're too stupid to understand what these means for universal basic health care. All right, but this is not the first time she has swiftly reversed opinion, that topic and range of other issues. She's a flip-flop. That's what Democrats do. They don't stand by the word. They love to flip-flop to get votes. And many said Harris somewhat of a breakout night, aggressively pushing Joe Biden on the issue of race. However, the debate also revealed Harris' stunning ability to swiftly reverse position on key topics. Yeah, because she's well rehearsed for this moment, all right? Don't vote for this. It was awful. Here's Harris' most notable flip-flop pass. Number 1, abolishing private insurance. Right? NBC moderator Lester Holt asked the field candidate Thursday if they support abolishing private insurance. Many people watching at home have health insurance throughout their employers who would abolish their private health insurance in favor of governmental plan, he said. Both Senators Sanders and Harris raised their hand, all right? Because at that point the question was asked, like, would you how am I say this? Take government health care rather than their own plan, and they raised their hand. Because they're not, they prove out to be hypocritical, especially Bernie, because he's the most strongest advocate of Medicare. If he won't get around it, if he won't forfeit his governmental plan, his own private plan, and take government plan like Medicare, then he's a hypocrite, right? Like, why are you going to endorse Medicare for all and you're not even on Medicare yourself? Which is at this moment he should be on Medicare because of his age. However, Harris swiftly reversed her position, telling CBS Morning Tony DeCupel, whatever her name is, on Friday that she misheard the question. Flip-flop, right there, flip-flop, changing the question. Don't understand by her word. You had the time to think about it, and you didn't. Now you're switching around. Crazy. So the question was, would you willing to give up your private insurance? Harris began. That's not a blow. That's now how it was, as the Copio noted. That's what you heard, right? Okay, that's certainly what I heard. Harris said, reiterating her support for Medicare for All. I am supporting for Medicare for All, and under Medicare for All policy, private insurance clearly existed for supplemental coverage. But under the Medicare for All, my vision of it would actually extend benefits, she claimed. This is a person, a former DA, right, who prosecute people. Now, what do a DA know about private insurance policy? You gotta ask a question that. Is she an expert? If she enforcement of the law, what qualified her to know how to run the hospital in the private insurance industry? All right? This woman don't have no background in that kind of stuff. What would she know? She don't know none of these stuff. And she act like she's an expert. She's just a lying politician. That's what she is. She put a lot of black men in jail, right? That's all she know, put black men in jail and the legal system, but she don't know anything about medical system at all. She's just coming out. It's her handler feeding all this thing. Her handler. That is not the first time Harris has reversed her position. Like a typical Democrat, typical politician. Eliminate private insurance during the CNN-based Town Hall, Iowa, January. Harris explicitly expressing support for that elimination. She told Jake Tapper, the idea that everyone gets access to Medicare and you don't have to go through a process of going through an insurance company, having to give them approval, giving through a paperwork of the delay that may require it. Who of us had that situation where we go to wait for approval and the doctor said, well, I don't know, your insurance company going to cover this. Let's eliminate that altogether. Of course, she would say that stuff. And let's move on. Yeah, it sounds right, but there's a reason why there's all this paperwork. It's for liability. If something happens, to keep a paper trail. That's why there's all this paperwork. What the heck? She don't even understand the process of filing all these applications and stuff. So you're supposed to go there and just get health care? It doesn't work like that, Harris. During the wide-ranging interview of Tapper in May, Harris reversed her position, claiming that she did not mean her previous remark. Yes, oh my God, flip-flopping to the max. That's not what I meant. Then what you mean? You had the time to say it and that time to process your thought. Why couldn't you process it well enough for people to comprehend, to convey your thoughts? So you want a second chance? All right. Harris said her previous position of eliminating private insurance. I support Medicare for all, but I really do need to clear up. Why you have to clear up? I thought you were a polished candidate on the stage. She continued. It was the context saying that let's get rid of the bankruptcy. It's ridiculous. It was the context of saying let's get rid of all the bureaucracy. Now, why did you say that in the beginning? That's what we just asked. Number 2, reporting arrests on ICE. Harris spoke strongly against Trump administration legal immigration policy Thursday night, promising to reinstate DACA, which is unconstitutional, status and eliminate private detention center. So where are you going to put them? If you're going to eliminate private detention center, where are you going to put them? All right? You're going to release them to the general public, general population? Ridiculous. She is now a fan of immigration and custom enforcement either. She's not a fan of immigration for ICE. Last November, Harris came under fire for attempting to draw a parallel between ICE and the Ku Klux Klan during the hearing former acting director of Ronald Vitello. She's going to compare ICE to Ku Klux Klan. You know what? The majority of ICE workers are Hispanic. You know that, right? So you're going to equivalent Hispanic people to KKK? Make any sense? And what was the motivation for the use of fear and force? What are you talking about? Kamala Harris asked with reference to the KKK activity. This woman's ridiculous. And what base, race, of ethnicity? Vitello said. Are you aware of the perception of many about how the power of the discretion of ICE is being used to enforce laws? Harris asked. Do you see any parallel? No. Do you see your questioning? Do you see? This woman is retarded. I see a perception that put ICE in the same category of the KKK. Expand on that, Kamala Harris. All right. She even introduced a Family Not Facility Act in November, aiming to prohibit ICE from using information about caretakers who come forward for unaccompanied child. What the heck? Children do not belong in detention center. So where do they belong to? All right, you put them in detention. They went. If the bad kids in a public school at bad, what do you do? You send them to detention. Saturday detention. All right. Yesterday, Senators Ron Wyden and I introduced a Family Not Facility Act, which is not going to get passed, would prohibit ICE from using information about caretakers who come forward and accompany children. Axios. You can read that tweet. I don't want to read her nonsense. However, Harris support controversy of 2018 policy that required law enforcement to report illegal immigration minors suspected committing crime to ICE during her time in the district attorney in San Francisco. Yeah, she's not reflecting on her decision in the past. All right, now all the thing in the past come back to haunt her in the future. That's what it is. This is when you're inconsistent with your answer. This is when you flip-flop. All right, your past come to haunt you. She tried to justify her position during a podcast interview earlier this year. She said handling children over ISIS was a unintended consequences of the policy, adding, "I did not support the consequences of that policy." Marijuana. Harris spoke at a length about the past during February interview in the Breakfast Club. During the interview, she joked about smoking weed, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac. Yes, it's infamous. I'm not going to play this because I'm going to have a copyright infringement. These days, Harris said the U.S. should legalize marijuana in order to restore justice. But yet again, most of the people that she prosecuted was on drug charges. Remember, when she was a DA, she put a lot of people behind bars because of drug charges. Now she have a sudden change of heart. All right? It's time to legalize marijuana. But you put a lot of people who use marijuana behind bars. The federal law to restore justice in our communities of color has been disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs. We reverse it. Yeah, you put most of them in jail. Don't you see your own hypocrisy? However, Harris adamantly opposed pot during her time as prosecutor. Exactly. See how the hypocrisy? This woman is a walking hypocrite. When she was running for district attorney in 2012, her campaign, the Managed Report said, spending 2 decades on courtroom, Harris believed that drug sellers harm communities. Harris supported the legal uses of marijuana, but does not support any time beyond that. According to Reason, Harris laughed and report response to the very idea by pushing her Republican opponent of legalized recreational uses in recently 2014. What a hypocrite. And too many criminal justice reform. In January, Harris decided to take the headline instance of criminal justice reform. She tweeted, "Let's speak the truth, and too many unarmed black men and women are killed." It's crazy. And too many black and brown Americans are locked up for mass incarceration. Cash bail policies, our criminal justice system need to drastically repaired. Yeah, and you put most of them in jail. Psycho. Those remarks does not necessarily line up with Harris's previous position, particularly those held during the 10 years of California Attorney General. In 2014, Harris' office reportedly fought to keep eligible prisoners from being released because prison would lose an important labor pool. Exactly. Prison labor is very lucrative because companies make a lot of profit out of prisoners. All right? That's why they incarcerate all these people for cheap labor. LGBT. While Kamala Harris bragged about her glowing LGBT rights record, it is not without flaws. Interestingly, Harris sided with the state 2015 decision to hold off gathering gender reassigned surgery and 2 inmates despite of physical recommendations. Persistent recommendation, as Washington Blade reported. One case is involving I cannot try to pronounce that name, who served a term of life and first-degree murder, kidnapping and robbery, and other cases involving Michelle A. Northworthy, who was serving time of prison for Mall Creek State Prison in Elon. in, I can find that, Ewan, in Lone, I think it's Lone, California, and second-degree murder. Both were prosecuted genders reassigned surgery, but the California Deputy Correction and Rehabilitation refused to provide the procedure. The process of noteworthy would quite publicly, as is processed through litigations. The U.S. District Judges John Tigger ordered California to grant a noteworthy gender reassigned surgery. Harris, in her capacity of Attorney General, appealed that decision. U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal enforced on reserving the decision. 129-page brief in the case signed it that Harris urged to stay in the court order to noteworthy because of the hormone treatment and the inmate received is sufficient, at least for the time being. Harris addressed her controversial role during the conference in January, saying, "I was, as you were rightly pointing out, the Attorney General of California of 2 terms, and I have hosted the client that I was obligated to defend the representation. I could not find any of my clients, and there are unfortunately situations occurring where my client took position were contrary to on my belief. She took fully responsibility for her office action, but noted that there were likely workers who did not personally consulted with her on the matter, and it was an office with a lot of people who would do the work on a daily basis, and I wished sometime they would have personally consulted me before I wrote the things that I wrote." Yeah, you're supposed to be professional. Why you have to have all that? I thought you were the end all be all person. Yes, I do. All right. This article shows you why she's not a perfect candidate for presidency. Of her constant flip-flopping, constant change of opinion. When people change their opinion like that so much, you know what they're capable of? They're capable of lying to you, right? This woman is not fit. All right? This woman is a liar. She is not fit. She is dangerous to be elected as the leader of the free world. All right? Kamala Harris. Kamala Monster Harris. Kamala the Ugandan god Monster Harris. Kamala Wakanda Harris. Kamala the WWF wrestler Harris, right? She is not a saint. All right? If a person flip-flop this much, what makes you think they can stand ground on what they mean? All right? Against our opponent, our adversaries. What kind of strong leader is that? All right? Kamala Harris is a weak, and I don't want to say it, but they probably had to pick her because how woke the Democratic Party is. They don't want no black, no, let me reiterate. They don't want no white man to be a leader or get the nomination, so they probably have to pick either a gay person or a black woman, a person of color. All right, since she's the only one person of color, but that's a possibility. Let's hope that doesn't come to that fruition. But it shows you people should not vote for this person. Her flip-flop, her records show that she's not consistent with her ideologies. All right, the left hand don't know what the right hand is doing. That's in her mind, in her head. She had to reiterate all her positions, her laughing. You see the ones who laugh? Like Hillary Clinton laughed. She tried to soften the blow. That's what people do, right? When they try to soften the blow of their criticism, they laugh upon it to elude the fact that they effed up. That's what they do. They laugh it out. All right, don't vote for this person. All right. But let me know you agree. Are you for Kamala Harris? Would you rather see her in jail than in office? Would you rather see her defeated? All right, let me know you agree. Leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. But because I wasn't saying YouTube don't want to monetize my channel, because I'm not monetized, I'm unscripted and rehearsed and edited, then we can say what I want without being bothered by any outside interference. All right, because of that, I'm not taking any donations, because the point of the channel is to get people to think for themselves. They don't have to agree with me, but think for themselves. All right, if you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe, because when you like, share, subscribe, it encourages me to make more videos. When you encourage me to make more videos, I saturate YouTube algorithm. When YouTube algorithm is saturated, I make more video more broader to a wider audience, and it might get people to think for themselves. On that note, guys, thanks for listening to HighlyEvolvedPodcast. My name is Stefan. I know your time is very precious, and I'm trying to waste any of your time. On that note, guys, I'm signing out. Peace.